invite Dr. Anita to introduce our next session guest, Professor Salman Moiz.
It's my privilege to introduce our esteemed speaker of this session. Dr. Salman Abdul Moiz is working as professor in School of Computer and Information Sciences, University of Hyderabad. Professor Salman is the director of Center for Digital Learning, Training and Resources at University of Hyderabad. He is non-executive director of Neoscript Technologies Private Limited. He holds a CMI Level 5 Lean Six Sigma Green and Black Belt certification. Earlier, he worked as professor at Geetham University and MVSR Engineering College. He also worked as research scientist at Center for Development of Advanced Computing. He worked as associate professor at Mufakam Jah College of Engineering and Technology. He also worked as adjunct faculty of IC5 Business School. He did his BSc, MCA, MTech from Osmania University, MPhil from Madurai Kamaraj University, and PhD from Osmania University. His areas of research interest includes software engineering, learning technologies, data visualization, and mobile database systems. He is the author of Software Engineering Book of AICTE published on eChum portal. He published around 80 papers in various international journals and conferences. He is a member of Board of Studies for several universities and governing body member of several institutions. He is a fellow of IETE, senior member of ACM and IEEE, life member of CSI, Society for Development of Statistics, member of Indian Society for Rough Sets, International Association of Engineers, Institution of Engineers and Internet Society. He is a Vice President of Internet Society of India, Hyderabad chapter. It's a great privilege to have you here amongst us, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Now I request you to please come forward to address the gathering.
So here if you see why we want to do the analytics in MOOCs. Okay, let us forget about MOOCs. You all are in an education scenario where you might have collected a lot of data. Is it not? So you want to, of course, enhance learning experience, most importantly, encourage higher enrollment and predict learner dropouts. You know very well, higher enrollment is very much important because yesterday I was talking about in a talk where as per NEP you have to increase your gross enrollment ratio. The question comes into picture, how do you increase the gross enrollment ratio with same infrastructure? So there comes digital era, we need to move to the digital world where we have to impart the education in that. So if you torture data long enough, it will confess, that is what the meaning is about it. I leave all these sort of things, but if you remember, I displayed some of these slides earlier, where you can get those data sources. Okay, to understand it, I think you can at least start with the learner's performance. If you remember a story which I shared last time also, so for some of the new people, I would like to talk about it, where long back, how we got this data analytics, AI into picture. Okay, even today we are doing that, but we have went forward, so I'll again share that story and we'll tell how we went forward. So it was the age where, probably, I think morning also had a session because I specialize in software engineering, so I had a software engineering class. So there was a continuous trend, lot of students fail in that course. Of course at our university, not in other universities of the same course, because that is treated as a theoretical course other place, we treat it as a practical course. That is the difference. So what happens is people were failing continuously. Now we have data. Now you can understand my point very simply. So we have data, now we have to analyze here why these people are failing in my course. So at that moment of time, we had very limited data. What are the data you will have? Student roll number, student name, student marks in continuous assessment, like you say internals, we say minors. Okay, then assignments, quizzes. Okay, then major assessment, that is your final examination, total marks, grade. So with this analytics, we are not getting any insights as to why people were failing. So we thought that first point, the data what you have may not be sufficient for you to make the real decisions out of it. You need to go and get more and more data. So then probably we wrote to the academic sections at the time and I asked that can we get more data about these students? Because these are all postgraduate students. So I said I want data about UG performance. So which course they did UG, what is the data they have, what was their specialization, what was their grade. We added that We again did our analysis. We couldn't get anything. We went ahead. I want to make the story very short. We went to the even class 10th. That was also not sufficient. Finally, we went, because our class is very diverse class, we went to an extent to find out from which place these people are coming, what were their medium of instruction in the schooling, 10th and 10 plus 2. And there, we got certain insights. So I'll again tell, sir will agree, because of ethical issues and all, I will not tell what happened, but I'll show you. I am standing in front of our country's map. Okay, we found most of the students who are failing this course are from this part of the country, Kashmir to Kanyakumari. These were most of the clusters when I plotted, they were coming from these places. I am giving a very good gist of my talk. Okay, all our slides, if you want these slides, take it. A lot of code is also there. If you want, I'll give it that also. Okay, and if you want to collaborate, I'm open. Today itself, I'll tell you. So many problems I'll mention, we can come ahead and collaborate it. So I got, yes, at least I got to know that most of not all, maximum cluster was coming from this part of the country. Okay, at least you got to know that people from this region are failing a lot. Now we started thinking about it. I want your concentration here. I know that you will sleep after 25 minutes. That is also our survey. Okay, maximum you can listen to me till 25 minutes. Then I have to come up with a real interesting story. Otherwise you will sleep. Okay, or else I'll tell you, stand up and clap hands. Okay, I'll say before my lecture you clap my hands for me. Okay, anyhow, this is what pedagogy is. Okay, I deliberately told you this, not for wasting your time. So we got to this now, what to do with these students. So when we took their papers, we started doing the analysis on that. So we found that these people do that mathematical computations and all very good, but they are not able to write. So we came to a conclusion that these guys has a problem with transforming their knowledge to the language, English language. Okay, now comes the interesting part. What we did is, we said, like that course starts in January. It has started. I'm still doing that course this time. This time it's a huge class. Because I'll again tell you, I'll again interval in middle. The problem was last year somebody taught it. And there was huge hangama. Something happened. So this time the board decided that I should take it. It's a huge class. So I'm again enjoying, because so many 120 guys sit in that particular class. Very good. Now I have more data. I'm very happy. So when you went for lunch, I was doing some analysis of my last examination. Okay. And this time I'm very much happy that I have representation from all states and UTs. I was just checking it. So I have 26 plus 9, 35 regions representation is there with me. So I can do further. Okay. So when we did this particular thing, what we did is, this course starts in January. We said we'll open up this course registration in December. Are you getting my point? In December, you said, I'll give a particular link to my page. I cannot show you here. Are you doing software engineering course? If so, press on this particular link. It will ask some questions. Where are you from? Where did you do the schooling? What was your CGPA? After some questions, please understand, it will give a response that you may be failing this course on software engineering. Course has not started. You may be failing this course on software engineering, and bottom it is written, don't worry, click on this link. Don't worry, click on this link. What we do is, in this January session, we talk to our 2-3 centers we have. Center for English Language Studies, Department of English, Center for Translation Studies, okay, and Center for Foreign Languages. We talk to them, and can you put a very basic English course in the evening hours? They do 6 to 8. And they, don't worry, register for this course and join my class. We did this, and we were able to achieve our goal. Failures have reduced. I am talking about data analytics and AI. But again, we thought that here, right? Recently, I gave a project to my students. I making it open. You can also do it and publish it also. Or if you want to collaborate with us, very fine. So what happens there is nothing but, there we want to know that performance of the student is down. Okay. We want to see why this performance is down. So what I did is, I can share you those documents if you are interested, or during tea break you can see with me. after every class, though we do reverse way. In our system, because he is also from our university, we do reverse system, though it is wrong. Okay, we do not make a lecture plan, then teach. Because of our autonomous system, because we can go beyond, we have total autonomy. Okay, I can go beyond syllabus. So we do reverse way generally, at least for one cycle. Like I can show you what I taught in today's class. I wrote it after coming back from the class. Why? Because I cannot follow the same lecture plan to all students here. That is a problem. I know lecture plan should be made, but it cannot be executed in the same way. So what I do is, before semester I write a rough lecture plan, but what I do in the class, I'll write it every day. Okay. Now what I did to my students is nothing but take these minor scripts. Okay. Evaluation is done. Now what you do, identify those places where student did badly. So you all know we do course outcome based. So I have 2 questions in my last examination for course outcome 1 and course outcome 2. I have my thresholds. Okay. And those who are below the threshold, now they are studying these particular topics, and these topics they are relating to this particular, because what I do is from this date to this date, whatever I taught is there in my examination. Now they are mapping that which date's topic the student has not performed well. And now we have started mapping to their attendance. Whether the student was present in that class on those particular days, I want to tell you that student presence made a lot of difference there. It will make it. Why? Because our system is like that. Because for example, when I am talking about an autonomous system, like sometimes people ask, even you will ask me this question, whether students will still come to your class. They'll come because of our system. Because they do not know what this guy will teach. Like today I was teaching a topic. I'm not saying I am great, but what I said is this topic material you will not get anywhere. You have to just go and download my book, which is free of cost. Textbooks will not specify that quite clearly. This I told them. This today's topic you should only read from my book. You will not get that clarity anywhere. No, that mapping is required. So for that reason, all these sort of things are there. I think you got to know that entire story. Okay. But we did one of the government project at the end. I'll put that particular short video to show that even now we have to get those components into our education system. Not only MOOCs, anything. So we can get information from anything here. So what I urge everybody sitting here is, I'm of course really happy that EMRC does this regularly, but we need to have some outcome of it. I do not know what outcome we got after 1 year. That's very much important. So we can, whatever you have learner performance, you have learner analytics, you can see there are various things which are there. Okay, from there you can get the data. And I don't want to do all these sort of things at this moment of time. I remember displaying this slide last time. Okay, interestingly, this list slide. Peak learning times of different countries which I displayed. I'll not bother about everybody, but I bother about India and China. They said 4 p.m. I think that is also outdated. Now you will get all in AMs. So we need to, of course, really go through this particular thing. And of course, as IMB, that particular analysis says that innovation IT management learners are all night owls. All night owls. Now you will force them to do something in the class. Now sir will agree with me. Today, again, the challenge today is where you want to give assignments. Whether the students will really do your assignments. Here, ChatGPT, everything is there. I think I shared this news last time also, when my younger one was in 9th class. Okay, now he's writing his 10th. Okay, when he was in 9th class, one day I found that he was just interacting with ChatGPT. So I just kept quiet because I cannot say, don't use technology. Please understand that also. I was just watching him, what he's doing and all. So I made him do it. After that I said, are you not copying? I didn't copy, he said. Well, can you prove me? Yes. He said, you give the same prompt to, that time he knows prompt. He said, you give the same prompt to ChatGPT? I said, yes, it is same. No, Abu, I didn't do that. I just took that subtitles. Rest material is mine. I am answerless. I said, of course, but you have to tell the teacher that you have prompted ChatGPT with this and got the structure. Teacher knows that. I'm fine. And sir was talking about that. So MOOCs, data analytics, I'll go with this. applying statistical, computational and AI methods to learner data. Okay, you have to apply. So I'm telling you, probably I don't want you to be a big programmer. Don't worry about it. The moment people talk about AI data analytics, most of them sitting in this hall are really worried. अरे हमें तो programming नहीं आती है. Not required. Because these are libraries. You should only know how to use it. It doesn't require coding for you. There will be library. Library will have a function. I'll tell you a very simple thing. Gone are those days people used to write these computer science guys. Okay, though I'm from computer science, I'll tell. They used to write a program on factorial of a number. Oh, teacher used to see logic. Factorial की logic ये है. ऐसा भी लिख सकते हैं. Now, you just say in Python, factorial of any number. It will give you the factorial. Okay. I want to write factorial of 1 lakh. The C language was not doing. Here it will write it. You just declare long int, it will give a number up to the size of the memory available in your computer. And what else you need it? So don't worry, don't feel that. The moment I say AI, statistics, a word called Python, don't worry. Okay, because we have something above Python also. Anaconda. Okay. Don't worry, you just install Anaconda. If you have a space, I don't do Anaconda. I do with Python only. Okay, small thing is good for me. Anaconda I cannot manage on my laptop. Okay, it will have all the libraries here once you use it. Or one time come to me, I'll show you some of those methods. Take that code from me, apply for any data. Okay, that you do it. So data analytics is crucial in education because it helps what? Institutions understand learner behavior, number one. So you want to do PhD under learner behavior, you can go ahead. Personalized learning experience is most important topic of the day. We have one paper here, which I'll display at the end, okay, on personal experience. Improves outcomes by identifying patterns. Probably here, of course, this session will be recorded, but I'll tell very openly. Outcome measurement, how it is happening in your institution? Is it real outcome measurement? Only on some Excel sheet to show it to the approval bodies. Are you really doing outcome measurement? So I do that. I'll tell you how we do it. I think I can show you that Excel if you want. So for example, I gave a very small test, which was on 9th February, as per schedule. Next is on 16th March. So I gave only 2 questions. Question number 1 had some A, B, C bits. Question number 2 has some A and B bits. In my questions, no choice. In my question paper, no choice, because I cannot measure their outcomes. No choice. But you may say, yeah, you are biased. But we have 3 minors. Out of 3, I take best 2. That is the choice they have it. Not within the questions. Now today, what happens is in some of the examination papers are so bad. Even if I study 30% of the course, I can get A+. Oh, outstanding. How I can be outstanding in that? So I have this question. Question number 1 was measuring course outcome 1. Question number 2 was measuring course outcome 2. I take a pain in tabulating that. 1 A, B, C, 2 A, B, put everything. Put a threshold and find who are the people who are the slow learners from that. Who are the students who are fast learners also. We have big challenge today. Probably some of you might be thinking, ye kya baat kar raha hai? It's all waste. And for some of you, it might be very interesting. You are listening for the first time. But how to handle these 2 people in the class? That becomes a challenge. For that, again, you require a digital learning. MOOCs-like thing is very much required. So what we do is, if I feel that many of the students are lacking in that particular question, I'll go and do that class again. If I feel few students are lacking it, I will not do that class. I'll give some material. Sometimes I get only 1 or 2 guys. They are failing very much bad. I'll connect with my PhD scholars. So you need to get with different ways. You cannot have everybody into the same thing. So I did it. I get a question on, something like trust on a computer programmer to the students. They wrote blah, 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 blah. I came and I said, nobody wrote this properly. Then I went to a code of ethics. Again, I explained them. I was expecting this and you people wrote this. And again, I shared that document on their group. So mean to say that is how you have to measure the course outcomes and again try to improve it. Because we talk about, the 2 types of assessments. But do we really do it? We say formative assessments. Do we really do formative assessment? I don't think. We'll conduct only once. Where is formative assessment? It gets repeated. But of course, you may say, sir, time kahan hai? You say 3 months of semester, 4 months of semester. How can we do formative assessment? But mind it, even the government is talking about, I do not know whether I told earlier, 2 types of course outcomes. Do you know that? Now course outcomes are course learning outcomes. Okay, some sciences stream is said to be CLOs, some engineering stream is said to be COs. So course learning outcomes are now divided into 2 categories. I think you all know that. Essential and advanced. Please make a note of it. When you go to your board or when you're preparing it, you should prepare 2 types of course outcomes. Essential course outcomes and advanced course outcomes. What do you mean that? Essential course outcome has to be acquired by all students. An advanced course outcome only by the fast learners. That is what the government, you can see AICT website, the 2022 model curriculum. If you want to see the details, see it. AICT model curriculum for UG courses 2022 PDF is there. Open any course, though it may not be from your area. Okay, at least general courses like English will be there, maths will be there, engineering maths will be there. Open it and see. They have divided into 2 categories. Essential course outcome and advanced course outcome. You have to see that every student in the class does the essential course outcome. Last year I wrote a paper. In that, again I want to tell you one more fact about this data analytics. We proved that, I think those who do the course learning outcomes and map to the mapping with the POs and all, right? Generally what you do, you keep a threshold. Yes or no? 40%, 50% for every course outcome. Every student should get above that. Below that you identify slow learners and all. What I proved in my study is, you cannot have a same threshold for all course outcomes. And which was accepted, it is published also. You can see that paper. I said, how to deal with diversity in the classroom through assessments. Okay, that was there. Why? Because for me course outcome 1 is very much required. It's a very basic course outcome so that the student can understand CO2. So what I have to do is, I should have a higher threshold for those course outcomes which are basic in nature. Okay, it cannot be same. What we are doing is, advanced outcome also we are keeping 40%, 50%. That's not possible. So this is what we have given. And of course, there is no problem. When I talked about in one of the board, they said that can be done. We have to only see whether the course outcomes are met. So what I mean to say is, you have to collect the data first. So when you talk about MOOCs, the data is collected through all these sources. Clickstream logs, okay, assessment scores, discussion forums, video engagement metrics. Okay, probably, last time one of my students did it. After that we had a privacy issue, we didn't do it. We put a camera in the class. But when people started objecting, we removed it. We want to see your eyes movements. It's very easy to find out after 2 o'clock. Very easy. Okay, morning probably not much. Very easy to find out with the eyes movement. And we did that demonstration that after 20 minutes it displays a screen. 50% of the students are not able to concentrate. Okay. We got some privacy security issues, we kept quiet. So the movement was based upon the eye thing. Okay, that is also not required here. But the just video data, how do you capture it? Okay. Video data, like Clickstream to have better understanding. What you have to do is, you can identify dropouts, interaction peaks. What are interaction peaks? What is happening here is, probably when I'm discussing with you, at some moment of time you are lost. Of course I have seen. When I was discussing more theory, you were lost. Okay. I should identify that part and improve upon. But I cannot judge that. But when I record it, I can see this particular data. When are my interaction peaks in the video? So data entry for videos, what you can do is you can collect from this. And I think EMRC will have lot of such data. Even CDE, there is this CDE will have lot of such data where you can have user ID, timestamp, in video position, event type. Forget about all this. I'll go to the next slide to make you understand. How do you watch a video? I think every evening, for half an hour or so, I'll open my YouTube and watch something. Okay, cricket or something, or some news. Okay, and just keep quiet. But how do you watch a movie also these days? Okay, a lot of Gen Gen Z is here. Okay. We are Gen X. So now Gen Z, they say, not interested, just go forward. Okay. So that is what it is. Play. The video is loaded for the first time. User clicked on the play button. It goes into the play event. Pause. The video is completed. User click the pause button. This is general behavior. Interesting is this. User dragged the video from one point to another. Dragged. Okay. Sometimes, I'll sit with my family, watch some program. My wife directly say, 10 seconds बढ़ा दो. 30 seconds बढ़ा दो. Buffering, this is for internet issues. User change the playback speed. I think I always do the playback. I never see any video at 1.x. Okay, I think you all also do that. At least 1.25. Because, that person is also very slow. Yeah, I don't want to waste my time. Okay, but there are certain topics in my presentation which requires lot of concentration or very difficult topic for the student. Is the student moving back to at least 1.x mode there? I need to really check it. That's where data analytics will help us. Okay, error, read. Video learner interaction analysis, overall statistics of the clickstream data. Demographics of learners, I talked about it. People from various places. Number of people who watch this video, popularity is very much important. Then, okay. First week when the video release was last week of the assignment, is very interesting. Have you done a MOOCs course? You might have done a lot of MOOCs courses. I think I do a lot of MOOCs courses. I think I'm registered for some 3-4 right now. And out of that, 2 are not from my area. Because I do something different also. Okay. These days I'm doing a lot of social behavioral analysis, fraud, ethics. I do a lot of AI ethics lectures. Okay. I do not have time, otherwise I would have given a very good example of hallucination on my name done by AI. Okay. If possible, we'll see it. Okay. So I do these sort of studies. For that reason, I require some courses to be done. So I do a lot of different courses. That is the advantage of it. So what happens here is first week of the session versus the week where I have to give the assignment or the last week. Lot of changes in the behavior. Why it is happening? It is very much required to see it. Variation in viewing viewers with different user groups. This is very much important. I already said Gen X to Gen Z. Okay. I was attending a MOOC, that is a SWAM meeting at Delhi at UGC in July this year, or last year you can say. So there it was specified that there is a gentleman of 92 years age who has done maximum number of SWAM courses. 92 years. I forgot from which place. It was said in the meeting, high level meeting. And they said wherever he writes an exam, the UGC is arranging for ambulance. Arranging for ambulance because 92 years guy is writing examination here. And that too, so much frisking and all. Recently I went and wrote an exam. Do you know that? That's good, but age has no bar, what we say. He has done maximum number of MOOCs courses. So recently, of course I should tell with this forum, I also wrote an exam. Just to check what happens there. Oh, you are too much frisking that it made me stand in the line. Okay, exam was completed in 25 minutes. They told me to sit for 3 hours. Here, I am just studying those behaviors. Is it required for me to sit? But of course, there are some ethical issues. I have to sit. Lot of people sleeping on the desk. Forgot about this. Next time I went as an observer to the same center for some examination. And that is very important examination. Not like this way, the MOOCs course which I wrote, which doesn't require any degree for me, but I'll get some credits. That is different. So they were writing which exam? JEE. Oh, that 2 to 5 exam. Problem is that 2 to 5 exam, poor fellow has to report at 12 o'clock here. Enter at 12 o'clock. Whatever reason it is. 2 to 5, that fellow will write examination, come at 5:30 outside. So I have seen after 2:30 they are sleeping. Hurry, what can we do? These are not questions. These are the things which we need to ponder on it. Of course, this has been made mandatory because there are reasons for that. But how to deal with that is a question there. So these behaviors, if you make it online, you can understand very well. Okay. Change in learning behavior over time. Factors affecting user behavior could be based on the content, based on the release time and so forth. The next assessment metric is grading analytics. Okay. You will consider a lot of quizzes and all, right? So you need to identify where they are performing well, where they are performing bad, identify the factors. I talked about it. So here, the most important thing today is forum analytics. I'll go back. Okay. Grading analytics is there, where you have data entry for quiz submissions. Okay. Time of submissions, answer selected. Like I did, probably one online test. What happens? I give you time. Time starts at morning, you can send up to evening. Except few students, everybody submits at the last moment. Why? Now 11 o'clock is the last time. One fellow submits at 11:01. He says, sir, I was not able to submit. Okay, recently I gave 11:59, midnight, till 11:59. Sir, just a few seconds late, sir, I don't know why it happened. Sir, my internet was not working at that moment of time. I gave from last day till today. Likewise, probably we work on an e-governance system where the last day of semester fee, people will pay on the last moment. You need to really study those behaviors. And what can we do for that? So analyze the student performance and assignments. You have to do the predictions and so forth. Forum analytics is very much important. I think we all are, Gen Z is very good at forum analytics. Give them a particular space to talk about me. Give them a space to talk about me. Sir, your lecture was, good, but post-lunch is not suitable. This lecture. Okay, and there was a lot of text on the slide. Can you make some video images so that we get interested? Okay. Maybe you can get those sort of things. So we require that particular thing. So I can give you a blog. You can write about it. Blogs are very much important to know. I'll show you one of the case study which is there, if possible. So there we will show that the dropout rates and all, you are able to identify those dropout rates only with respect to these blogs. Just a second. So here, you break down the post by course. I will not talk about it. I will go later. So here, researchers study MOOCs data to do this. I think if you are really working on a particular area of work, take one of them. You can talk to me also. Okay. This area is so big, we can also do with respect to region, not necessarily generic data. You can take data of the South region and work on it. Identify learning patterns, improve instructional design, personalized learning pathways, we'll talk about it, predict dropout and retention. That is more important. But here, personalized learning pathways is very much important. Now I'll tell you how. For example, I'm a slow learner and you have given me a particular video, I should watch in 15 minutes and do some task. Is it possible for me? Might not be always. Why? Because I'm a slow learner. Okay, now what has in this particular MOOCs course? It has to start from some week and at particular week. I am very good at after 1 week. After 1 week, I am down. Then I realize here, I have already completed 3 weeks. Why should I do this course? Close down. Okay. Now, for example, I am very slow. So can you give me a particular plan based upon my skills and my time? That is personalized learning which is possible through this particular data analytics. This is again a very good slide for you all. Okay. What are the analytic approaches we use? We have these approaches. We have descriptive analytics. We have predictive analytics. We have learner analytics. We have text mining and natural language processing. We did a lot on this text mining and natural language processing for a student feedback. The student has given a feedback. Okay. Our students are very good because they respect teachers a lot. But that is also a problem. You can respect, but not with respect to the feedbacks. I am still chairing the feedback committee of the university since long. So what happens? Even the student says the faculty is bad. At the end they'll write excellent, 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 excellent. Now it comes to us here, committee give a recommendation. What to be improved? I said, sir, everything is excellent. That is one. Second, we thought, okay, again at least we counseled the students that you will not be seen, you will everything, we will not able to see your data, all the ethical practices we made. Then we started getting some good feedback. But again, we were very much interested in the last box. Any other suggestions? Faculty comes late to the class. Okay. This I received once. And now, when I'm analyzing it, 100 students gave a feedback. 80 students write very good. And 20 students write otherwise. Here, what to do? So we need to get more data about those particular things. Okay. So we have so many things because the way you see me as a teacher and way you see me a teacher may be different. So what we did is also, I should not tell you, but we have kept our thresholds based upon the type of the course. Okay, if we receive more than 50%, then we act. For these courses, for sciences, little harsh. Okay, at least should not be more than 20%. These sort of things we made it and we give the suggestions back. But if you see, you can start with descriptive analytics at least. If you are not good at so much of statistics and all, just start with a descriptive analytics. There you can compute your mean, median, mode, quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, identify your, get some statistics and do it. That is where you can start it. Then you can then you can come to AI. No problem. So learning analytics dashboard, you can make a dashboard also. We'll talk about it. Where the learner can visualize the patterns. See, don't just analyze it and keep it. It should be visualize where I am going wrong. And text mining and NLP, this works with respect to the feedbacks, text feedbacks, what we are going to do it. Or analyze the forum discussion, where people chat. Insights for educators. Detecting at-risk learners early. At-risk learners you have to identify early. But probably our system is like that, if we talk about such a big class, how can I do individual concentration? People are getting into picture. But if you do the analytics right from the beginning, it is very much required. Now I'll again take a break out of it so that I'll take you back to my lecture. Okay. Where recently I started doing one thing which I want to tell you also. In MOOCs it is not done. Probably EMRC can take a initiative on that. We say prerequisites. Do we really assess them prerequisites? Do we do diagnostic assessment? Here very much required. I started my software engineering course. My first class, I went with a QR code displayed. I said, today I'm not taking class, but I'll take attendance. Please scan this QR code and write exam. They were all worried. Sir, exam? Which exam? First class. I said the prerequisite says the student might have completed one programming language course. So I have a simple form. Fill it. Now, when they filled that particular form, I was surprised. Why? Because some of the basic concepts, they don't know. I told them this is not an examination. Be fair. Be fair on that. I can show you the statistics which I did on Jan 8 or Jan 9, which was my first class. I put that QR code. More data, I said, put it on your group. I'll collect till tomorrow. Because I want even absentees to answer that particular course. Since they were not taking seriously, I said, whoever answers I'll give attendance. I got all 100% responses because the goal is not attendance. Goal is to understand the behavior. Can I start the first topic in the class? I got to know that I can't start. So what I did? I went to the first lab and said that you have to read these files from this source and do this assignment today and submit it on my portal. This was not in the course, but this was the important prerequisite component which one has to know to do this course. I think the first challenge today is MOOC should embed, or any online course should embed, diagnostic assessment. And we are talking about personalized learning. See, I am doing for entire class, but in online it is very easy. For you, the lecture should be organized in a different way. For me, it should be in different way. It can be done now. That is what a personalized learning is. Maybe in a classroom I can't do it. But in online learning, based on the feedback what I received, I can do it. So that is what is required. So designing adaptive assessments is very much needed. We may not have a single assessment. If I am a very weak student, my assessment should be as per me. So you should have adaptive assessments, improve course structure based on the engagement data. This is very important for teachers sitting here. Always we say, my course is good here. My course structure is good. Fantastic here. No. It has to be improved. That's the reason we have a very good system in our university. Though board is there, but the change will be initiated from the faculty. Nobody is there to say that change the course. I as a faculty, I am going to change it again after this semester because I got some insights now. Okay, we need to do it again changing. So I am going to write a big report at the end with lot of my data, statistics and all, and say there is a change required in this particular unit. I am proposing this because of this industry demands and all those sort of story, I'll write it, submit it to the board. So first it will be circulated, some guys will raise the questions, then openly I'll come to the board and answer, it gets passed. So please understand this. You cannot have a fixed board structure. Of course, if it is fixed by the university system and all, still you can give the feedback. Okay. Evidence-based teaching strategies is very much required. Insights for learners, personalized recommendations, we said that. Based on that, you can have a personalized recommendation. Self-monitoring through dashboards. Please make these learners very open. That is, they should see it. Don't hide their performance. Like we'll say, na, paper correction, you cannot see it. That is, our system is one thing very good. For example, we give the minor sheets back to them. Though NBA says you have to preserve it, but our system says that the internal papers should be given to the students. Because I'll write comments there. They have to learn through it. But final papers will not be given to them. It will be there, not with controller of examination also in our case. Myself is controller of examination. I'll only give the marks. Yes, same student. No, it's corrected script. Yeah. But not the major final examination sheet. That is preserved with me. But assume that you have applied for a revaluation. Revaluation is their concept. Our revaluation system is totally different. You will be surprised. For example, you have applied for revaluation. My duty is, as a teacher, call you, show the paper, and tell you that you got these marks. Do you have any objections to this? See, here I gave you 5 because I was expecting this. 8 out of 8, this is 5. Do you have any objection? Write it. You do not have objection. At times the students say, I still have objection. Then only it goes for a revaluation. I got my point. So that is what is required today. Because we are hiding everything. The thing is, so what we want to is, okay, don't show the paper, at least show the dashboard. Performance is going on onto the system by a visual image, by a particular graph. That is very much required here. Peer learning opportunities are very much important. Like I do follow this. Right now I am doing a 100 class and I have some 52 projects in that. I said 2 students, 1 project. So there are 2 students who do not have a member. 52 projects are there, just imagine. But that peer learning is very interesting actually. They learn it very well there. Motivation through gamified progress tracking. You can see if it is possible, you can embed games into your teaching. So this is a case study. MOOCs and online learning performs light of, I'll just leave all these sort of things. I'll take you to this. 2 case studies. Very simple 2 case studies. The number 1 is predictive models reduces the dropout rates. I want to study about dropout rates. Please see this. Data collection. The first step is data collection. I'll take you to one figure. Yeah. If you want to do your data analytics, what to do? First, define what you want to do it. Do you want to predict the dropout rates? Do you want to predict the learner engagement? Based on that, collect your data. Collect the data. Data collection can be implicitly through video streaming, through analytics, or explicitly also. Okay, then you have to clean the data because you'll have some missing values, some wrong values, some duplicate values. Apply some pre-processing mechanisms to clean it, then analyze the data. Okay, simple describe command, you do it first. I'll show it. Then visualize your findings. So here I'll tell you, I'll show you some of the things here. I just copied that snapshot for you to understand it. This is some MOOCs data. Start time, last event, number of events, number of days active. Only if you see number of days active. Maximum 8 days, minimum 0 days. Age is also there. I will show you only this. What I did is, I went for simple analysis on this data. So what I got it here, and this is the data of, if you want data I can give you. 4 lakh records are there. 4 lakh records are available with me, which I got from some open source. Now since I am heading this EDLTR, I want to try for my students now because I have a data with me. And only 3% certified is a big challenge here. So I want to predict dropouts. Okay. So what I have to do? I have to collect the data through clickstream videos, which I talked about it. Of course. Then monitor engagement signals, time spent, frequency of logins, assignment submissions, how many has been done. Based on that, you apply your machine learning models. I will talk about machine learning models little simple way. When you write marks, those who are very new to this, when you write your marks, what is your final thing? Result, pass or fail? Yes? So we have a label for that. We will predict that particular value of label based on the data. Start with that. Okay, start with that simple learning. You can train that particular data so that you can go ahead with that. Early warning system, identify at-risk learner within first 2 weeks. Are you giving this particular feedback? We are least bothered, right? Some students will never study. That is our goal. No, but we should be very much active that within first 2 weeks, we can give that particular feedback. Personalized nudges, give them reminders, give them encouragements. These reminders you may not have to give explicitly. You can program it. You can program it also. And these messages will go to that particular person. Okay, and give the adaptive pathways. If you see that conclusion which is written at the bottom, research on MOOC shows predictive models perform better, okay, to identify the learner engagement. Likewise, there is another engagement called sentiment analysis. This is very much important. For example, I would like to know my post, a topic is there, whether it is very good, you want me to give a rating. Okay, if you want the people to chat it, you might have seen Amazon reviews. So do you plan your reviews for your topics so that you can get to know where the students are performing. So this was another analysis which was done through NLP, natural language processing, to get some of the results here. So don't worry, it is no, these things has to be done, but you have to get your analysis done. So based on your analysis, you could do, just read this paper if you have a time sometimes. Just take a photograph of it, freely available, where we talked about this personalized learning based upon the lot of data, freely available on this particular journal. I think taking that particular thing, you can do a lot. Every point displayed here has a lot of research potential. Every point. Data privacy. Sir, you are taking a lot of data. Who has given you rights to use this data? That's very much important. Algorithmic bias in predictions. I can talk about one hour on that particular topic. Okay, we have so many analysis. Like I asked to my AI, what kind of person is Salman Abdul Moiz who works for University of Hyderabad? Today you can do it. You have my full name, right? Salman Abdul Moiz. You just write, tell me something about Salman Abdul Moiz who works for University of Hyderabad. What are his strengths? Write it. What are his weaknesses? Write it. Is he really good in this area? Research. Does he research in this MOOCs? Ask it. But only one thing what happened is, next question I asked, is there any frauds on the name of Salman Abdul Moiz? I wrote it. My wife was sitting beside me. She is also from computer science. She said, why are you writing it? Because the model gets trained with you and fraud. But let it get trained. I want to show it to academia. I could have displayed that slide. It is there in this laptop. So it says, there is no criminal record on my name, it wrote it. But in middle it wrote, but there is a person whose name is very much similar to me. And it started referring to some frauds. But again at the bottom it says, but we cannot correlate this to him. Then why you have specified that? Challenge even in the student engagement. Okay, even the medical analysis, they were biased towards blacks. I can tell you hundreds of stories on that. We need to keep track of that particular thing. That is very much required. Next, balancing personalization with autonomy. Very much required. You go to hospital, right? Do you give a form that you can take my data? You might have heard about another word called agentic AI. There was a workshop going on in the Wipro and I was called as academic expert. I said, how can you make your agentic AI systems when data is changing very fast? You are biased. You need to really do that training every time. Okay. Scalability across diverse learners. When the data increases based upon the various learners, then the challenges can come into picture. So you can work on this particular thing. We also work on digital divide. Out of all this, we have another challenge. You know what is the challenge? Like, I was giving a talk probably 2 weeks back, where one audience caught me. Oh, you talk a lot about online courses, online education, online initiatives in India. We don't have internet connection. What are you doing for that? Okay. We don't have, earlier, they are telling some service provider, I'll not tell the name here. It gave free of cost. Now it is charging huge. No, and you are telling that as per NEP, digital learning should be done. Then I said, Government of India also has initiative for the connectivity to reach villages. Start using them. You should come forward so that those connectivities can be established. But yes, the question is valid. Okay, even today's my statistic says only 53% of the Indian country is still connected with net. 47 to 46% doesn't have net connection. So we have to incorporate those particular challenges. I know this, probably this was bit theory for you, but take some data, do some simple analysis. That's very much required, you have to do it. Then only you can understand real analytics on that. And if you are interested, do write to me. You can work with me as well. Hope you have seen that. Email ID will be there on the first slide. uohyd.ac, not written, okay. See the title. To identify how I should handle a diverse group of students in the class. And how do you empower the teachers for that? So this was a UKRI project because it is written the Dudley College. That is United Kingdom India Initiative. Please go ahead.
One of the oldest central universities established by the Act of Parliament in the year 1974. Since then, the university has grown to a strength of about 5,000 students today and about 400 faculty members working in 12 schools, also catering to the integrated master's program both in arts and sciences.
I went to the voice conversion things available. I selected some voices. I thought which voice will be suitable for both India and UK. And I selected this lady's voice. And I gave the text. I gave the text and got this voice, and I have my editor. I said, put this at this particular moment of time. That's what it is done. Okay, but of course, I am not for everything there. So this was done very well. This to be embedded into MOOCs now. That is a challenge now. We have to embed all these sort of things into the MOOCs. So that is what you need to do it. I know I was very fast on that, but probably I was getting signals. Thanks for bearing with me for this much of time. Happy learning.
Especially, we would like to thank you on the topics that are very relatable to all of us, learners' behavior and the problems that educators face during teaching the students, and the kind of changes that are required in the education system in terms of applying it to the MOOCs and other parts of the education system. And special interest to me is the video engagement metrics, where you have really, we were really feeling that yes, all this we are experiencing and found in your study also. And especially I should appreciate the continuous and simple smile on your face that did not make us fall asleep after post-lunch session. Thank you for your time. Now I request Swarajyam and Karuna ma'am from EMRC to come forward and felicitate Professor.